Hey y'all, it's June the 16th, or it might be the 17th, 2016. We're just hanging out here in my garden. In case if you didn't know, it's where I keep all my plants. And it just rained last night. It's been an unusual amount of rain here in Big Spring. More than likely due to El Nino. More than likely due to the sun and its cycles and the moon. And not having very much to do with man-made climate change. All right, a lot of rain, and therefore, since it's been a lot of rain, my garden's been exploding, you guys. Just straight up exploding. I feel very blessed by that. My plants feel very blessed by that. They're growing very big. As you may well already know, I have cages for my plants, and it's made out of a tire. I put chicken wire around it, and then on top of them, just to give them a little bit of shade, I put this tarp on there like that. However, the plants are getting very big very quickly, so of course they're busting up out of that tarp. They're busting up out of their tarps. Right there, that's a cucumber plant. Alright, over here, busting up out of the tarp, that'll be a tomato plant. These two right here are tomato plants. Alright. Down here, you got another plant growing pretty big. I don't remember what that is. I think it's a squash or a zucchini or something like that. But we'll find out before long. Back over here. Bursting up out of the top. Cucumber plant. Alright, I plan to have a lot of pickles. Alright, a lot of tomatoes. Here, right here, it's another cucumber plant. Growing quite big. And if I had to guess, I would say it's standing about 3.5 to 4 feet tall right now. Alright, down here, I believe that's a little okra plant. It's very late. We'll see how it does, but it looks alright. It's doing alright. I'm not complaining about it. Over here, as you're looking at right now, that is a watermelon plant. Alright, it is bursting up out of its cage. I put the watermelon plants in a cage. Alright, they're a vine. Lots of people like to let them, lie on the floor and everything. It's a good idea, especially if you got a lot of room. Me personally, I put them in a cage, so they're kind of climbing the cage and stuff. Eventually, watermelons are going to pop up out of them. And at that point, you got to figure out, how you're going to get the watermelons on the ground safely. But that's something to think about for another time right now. Right here, it's a cucumber busting up out of the top. Little pretty little flowers. Right here is a tomato plant in a bucket, because I was growing it in a bucket, and it's gotten real big. Real big. Over here. Right over here is an okra plant. Now this okra plant's been thriving, and I assume that I'll see it thriving even more before it's all said and done. I actually picked an okra off of it this morning. And let me show it to you real quick if you're not really familiar with okra plants. Alright, I got this okra off of it. Check this out. You can see by the size of my hand how big this okra is, right? Right, this okra grew to be about that size within like a day. This grew. Alright? Think about that, like in your lifetime, has anything this size ever grown on you within a day? Alright? That's pretty well how okra grows. That's why you gotta keep an eye on it. Because when it gets to be about this size, that's when the okra starts to get a little bit hard. And if you let it go for another day, it's gonna be as hard as wood. All right, you won't really be able to eat it. All right, let's take another quick peek. See, this is a watermelon right here. This is a watermelon plant, and it's busting all over the place. It's growing vines and stuff. It's reaching towards the fence and stuff, trying to hold on. Looking pretty good. I gotta add more nitrogen to it probably. Nitrogen is very important for all these plants, but especially with these watermelon plants. Right now, I'm using a combination of nutrients, right? I got this thing, here, I'll show it to you. I got this fertilizer, it's called Tiger's Blood. It's made by Fox Farm. That's some good stuff. It'll make it grow like a tiger. Alright, plus also I got this kind of a compost thing set up. It's all messy over here, but I got this compost thing that I set up. And it's made out of, the scraps that I have. I eat a lot of bananas, avocados. Alright, I got coffee grounds, egg shells, and all that mixed up in the compost. Why throw that stuff away? You take it and mix it up, put it in water, and then feed it to your plants. See, it's a circle of life. All right. Before I get out of the main part of the garden, here we'll take a brief overview of it again. All busting up out of the top. Before I get out of there, I want to show you my mint plants. All right, here's my original mint plant. I think it's like I don't know if it's spearmint. I think it's peppermint. It's one of those mints. It's like original mint, but over here, right here, you got, see right here, closest to is chocolate mint. But if you go to the other end of this little bucket, that's pineapple mint. And yes, indeed, they both smell like chocolate and pineapple. They're busting up out of there. All right, mint does not play around. All right, I just planted those a little while ago, and they were real small, just like this one. And they are quickly growing up into very big bushes. Alright. And might as well take a look at this one over here. And there's a lot of weeds right now. Gotta do something with. Right here I'm also growing rosemary. It's very little. I might have watered it too much. See, rosemary, it doesn't like a lot of rain. And it's been raining a lot. So hopefully the rosemary grows, because that reminds me of San Antonio. Where we got rosemary growing up out of everywhere. Alright, let's take a quick look before I send y'all off. Let's look at it right here. This is a pepper plant, and it's looking pretty good, a little promising. Bell pepper plant, I believe another bell pepper plant. See, the thing is, they're real short, these plants. Alright, and I'm hoping they grow taller. But we'll see, because they've been remaining short for a while. Behind them is an okra plant, and right behind that plant's I believe another bell pepper plant. And then we got a squash behind that plant. Squash plant. Right there. And they got quite a bit of shade, so they might be late bloomers. Alright, I'm not sure. I'll be holding out for them, seeing what they do. But they might not do nothing. Right here, whoa, this is my last cage in the back of my main garden. See, that's my main garden over there. Behind it is a cage, and that's filled with tomato plants. All right, basically, as you might could see, it's like a big box made out of metal, and I wrapped some fencing around it, right, to protect from the bunnies, the bunny rabbits. Okay, and I put tomato plants in there, and they're looking crazy good. And I haven't really had to put cages around them, but instead what I've done is I tied string up from one end. See, like you can see right here, string from one end of the cage to the other end, and it's basically holding up the tomato plants. You had to have something to hold up the tomato plants. Alright, they're going to need a little bit of support from you. So I put up string, and there's another one. And lastly, but not leastly, you got right here is a corn plant, and we're expecting this to be reaping its benefits towards the end of the growing season, probably. You know, within a couple weeks when I give you an update. More than likely, this corn plant right here, it's gonna be almost as tall as I am. All right, corn is good, and I like it. Want to get me some? All right. It's the end of this update. All right. Seeing a lot of green, a sea of green. All right. By the time I come back, you'll probably be seeing a lot of red and all sort of different other colors. Also, you know, I forgot to show you, and that's why I'm walking. One of the coolest parts of my garden right now is the eggplant. The eggplant's growing like crazy nutballs. Look, check this out. That's my eggplant, and some bugs be eating on it. And I'm not tripping too much, but come down here and check this out. Bam! Look, that's a little eggplant right there. And over here, that's an even bigger eggplant. Look at that. Eggplant's coming out, and like there's a lot of them. I don't know how many of them, but if I had to guess right now, I'd have to say upwards of 10. I see at least 10 little eggplants growing up over there. Eggplant is good, all right? Don't be scared of eggplant. I know that you're listening to me right now. Here's that sweet potato plant. You see it a little bit in there. It's young still. But I know you're thinking about eggplant. You're like, oh my God, how can you cook eggplant? There's lots of ways. There's lots of ways to cook eggplant, and it's delicious. And it might be a superfood. But anyways, like I said, I've been taking up too much of your time. Alright, so I'll holler at y'all with new developments.